All right, since we came out with how to fix and restore Grandpa's Zebco 33, I had no idea there are, thousands of people would be doing this. And we've got so many emails that I've identified the problem areas and what to do about that. First of all, I'm going to say something that might seem kind of strange to some of the actual rebuilders out there. About the different model eras. They're all the same. They work the same. This is the first era. Now these two have lines coming out of them because I just took them off my fishing poles. This is my grandfather's 1956. He was a fishing guide in the 20s and 30s, and once he bought this in 1956, I never saw him with any other reel. Freshwater type reel. He reeled in hundreds of fish with this. He gave me a 1967 reel, and once I acquired his, I use this a lot. If I've got other things that I do, one's rigged for crappie now, his is, and this one's for bass. This is the later plastic dealie they came out with, but they all work the same. And I say they're the same, obviously they're not the same. Here's the differences. And they're minor, really. As you can see, we have drag, we have a clicker. No matter what era we're talking about, all that's the same. Any of these covers will fit another one. They're the same. We turn them around. Our lock, the same. Now, here's the differences. We turn them over. You'll see that this has no anti-reverse. Anti-reverse here. So, and now I'm going to get rid of this. The only differences between these two eras is the anti-reverse and the machinery that makes that work, which is not much. All that is this little gizmo right here that clicks back and forth. And if your anti-reverse stops working, as some people have said, this is broken, what do I do? Well, at that point, all you've got is this. You can still fish with it. It doesn't affect the operation whatsoever. So don't throw that in the trash bin simply because of that. The other thing that people have noted when I did that original film was that I didn't take the gears out. I'm going to show you how to do that. And because I didn't, all these reels work the same again. This is your clutch mechanism. And all we have to do to put this on any lily pad, once we've got it locked, we cast it, and to lay that down on any lily pad, all I've got to do is just feather that right down. This doesn't have feather touch. You can do that with any of them, okay? You actually don't need the feather touch deal to do that. All right, let me try to keep these lines separate. Now this is a reel with feather touch. I'm going to turn it and bring it up here. You see this spring right here? That's your feather touch. Now a lot of people are having trouble because they don't realize there was also a spring back here. Now I'm going to turn this, and I don't know if you can see right here, there is a hole where that spring goes into, right there. See that? See that spring, that hole where it fits in? Okay, so you got 2 on each arm of this clutch activator. Here's your button right here, and this activates the clutch. Now, and there's your clutch going out. Now you see with one spring, it doesn't work right. So, how do we solve that? Well, we just take this spring out. Got the spring. And now I've got a Zebco that works perfect. It works like any other Zebco that was ever made. You can, so don't let that stump you. If you only have one spring in your reel, just take it out. Take it out. Now you got a perfect working reel. The other thing is about the gears. My gears, they mesh. I can feel the gears meshing. Something's not right. Usually what that is, and this reel here, when I opened it up, it had a homemade clip dealy boppy in it, but it looks a lot like the clip that they had in it originally. This sits right here, and this is your adjustment for the gears, and this is the only tricky part that you have, is adjusting this to where these gears, they mesh, but they're not so tight that they get involved with this clutch mechanism bar. So that needs to be smooth. It needs to be lubed. And for lube, as those of you who watched the last film, I simply use marine wheel bearing grease. Okay, I'm going to take the gears out so you can see how that's done. Now, I don't know how they did this in the factory, frankly, whether they put grease on this shaft or not, but I'm going to put grease on it, because every time from then on that you put oil on it, it's going to take and thin out the grease a little bit, and it's going to get smoother and smoother and smoother. All right, let's take the gears out. You'll see how to do that. And take this reel down all the way. I have already taken off, and this just unscrews. I'm not going to take this all apart. That's all you got to do to get to this piece here, is unscrew your winding mechanism. Okay, let's go. All right, we've already taken off the handle. We took off the winding mechanism, and we took off the line holder. Pull that right out. And now we're going to take out the gears. I'm going to pull out this little gear adjustment that somebody made. Pull that out of there. And this looks difficult. This is our clutch again. But all we have to do to get that out is just take and pull one of these out at a time from the holder. And now this all comes out. This whole assembly comes right out. I'm going to put that right here. This goes in your main shaft. This will go back in your little hole here, and then you're going to put that right back in here when you reassemble. Okay, from here, if you've got a reel with anti-reverse and you're having trouble getting this gear out, 99 out of 100 times it's because of your anti-reverse. So just click that and get it out of the way, and this will come out. All right, first things first, let's take off our clutch mechanism. Of course, this has an O-ring in it. I'm bringing this back from the dead, so I've got to come up with an O-ring. All right, gonna pull that out, punch that up. See, I had to adjust that myself. Now I've got my main gear out. As you can see, this is a bushing in here, and so these things will go forever if you just keep them lubricated. I mean, my grandfather's reel, I'm still fishing with mine from 68, 67. All right, now this can be a little, comes right out, this one. This is the clicker. Get that out of the way too. All right, so I had to go up with the clicker to get that out. So now we've got our gears out, and we can lube the whole thing. That's all there is to it. If you want to take it down any further, you can. It's simply a matter of backing everything out and pulling it out. Can you see? This looks very, very good. And this is like, you know, virtually almost 100% of them will look perfect. Okay, I hope that helps you getting things back in line. One of the other questions is, can I send my Zebco to you? Absolutely not. I'm teaching you how to do it yourself, so you and your kids can keep these reels going. They'll last, you know, generation after generation. All you got to do is keep it lubed, and you don't have to buy a reel every year with plastic gears and accept all that kind of stuff. Again, the ones with the brass gears, if you're at the flea market or something, you pull off the back cover and you see brass gears. Those are the smoothest of all steel gears. Very, very good too. We get into, for a couple of years, they made them in plastic. The thing about plastic is once something breaks, you're done with it, you know. But you can use a lot of these parts still. Like I said, the covers go from one to another. My grandfather's reel has got a brand new thumb back on it because I was fishing and boom, that came off. So, you know, but you can keep these going forever. And there you go. Still reeling them in. 1956. Good luck with your Zebco. Good luck with your fishing. And if any of you, you know, if you want to use my stuff in one of your playlists or anything, you have my permission. You know, I understand there's a Facebook page with tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff, and I fully support all that stuff. I'm the last person alive not on Facebook, but if you can use any of this stuff, feel free.